Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, like this video and press the bell icon. In this video, you will learn how to create a Twitter clone using Laravel 11. You will learn how to create a middleware, events and listeners and send notifications using mail. You will also learn how to block and unblock users using a middleware. Let's see the project demo. When the user registers, an email is sent to their email address to verify it. When the user clicks on the Verify Email Address button, their account will be verified, and they will be redirected to the dashboard. From the Chirps page, the user can create chirp. User can update their profile. Users can change their password. Users can delete their account. When a user creates a chirp, all other users receive a notification about the chirp except the user themselves. The email will include information about the creator of the chirp, a button to access the website, and the chirp message. The user can update or delete the chirp created by themselves only. If the user tries to update another user's chirp by entering the URL, they will see an unauthorized access error. If the user forgets their password, they can enter their email address to request a password reset. The user will receive a mail notification to reset their password. When the user clicks on the Reset Password button, the Reset Password page will open, where they can enter their new password. There is an admin in the Chirper app, who manages all the users. When the admin logs in, they will see the message "You are logged in as an admin" and a user's link to manage the users. If the admin clicks on the user's link, the user's page will be displayed, where the admin can view user details, block and unblock users. If the admin blocks a user, the user cannot log into the app. If a user tries to log into the app, whose account is blocked by the admin, they will see the error, "Your account has been blocked, please contact admin." Before getting started, make sure you have the following softwares installed. First, you'll need XAMPP server to run PHP and MySQL. You can download it from this website. Then you will need Composer, which is a dependency manager for PHP. Download the Composer setup.exe file and install it. We will use Visual Studio Code as an editor, so make sure you have installed it on your system. Then we need Node.js to install front-end dependencies. Before installing Laravel 11, make sure you have PHP 8.2 installed on your system, as Laravel 11 requires PHP 8.2 and above. Right-click and click on Open in Terminal. Now, type php-v and it will display the PHP version installed on your system. You can see PHP 8.2 is installed on my system. Now type Composer and press Enter. You can see the Composer version 2.7.1. Now type the command node-v. You can see that the Node.js version is 20.11.1. Now, type the command npm-v to see the npm version. You can see that the npm version is 9.5.1. You can install Laravel 11 using Composer, but for this tutorial I will use Laravel installer to install Laravel 11. First install Laravel installer, using the command, Composer global require Laravel/installer. I have already installed Laravel installer. Type Laravel-v to see the Laravel installer version. You can see Laravel installer 5.5.3 is installed on my system. Now let's install Laravel 11. Type the command Laravel, new, your project name and press Enter. Now you will see a prompt to install starter kit. We will use Laravel Breeze, so type Breeze and press Enter. Now you will be asked for Breeze stack. We will use Blade with Alpine, so type Blade and press Enter. Now you will be asked for dark mode support. Type yes and press Enter. Now you will be asked for testing frameworks, type 0 for PEST or type 1 for PHP unit. Now for Git repository, type no and press Enter. It will take some time to download, depending on your internet connection, so please wait for the download to complete. Now you will be asked which database your application will use. Type MySQL and press Enter. Now you will be asked to run default database migrations, type no and press Enter. It will take some time to install Breeze and other dependencies, depending on your internet connection. Laravel Breeze has been installed successfully. Now type cd your project name and press enter to navigate to the project directory. Now open your project in Visual Studio Code. We need to create a database for our project. Open .env file. Copy the database name. Now, go to your browser and open phpMyAdmin. Click on New to create a new database. Paste the database name and click on Create to create the database. Our database is created. Now we need to migrate the database. Open a new terminal. Type the command php artisan migrate to migrate the database. You can see the migration was successful. Now to run the app, type the command php artisan serve and press enter. Go to your browser and type localhost 8000 and press enter. You will see the new Laravel 11 welcome page with login and register link. Click on login and you will see login page. Click on register link and you will see register page. Scroll down and you will see Laravel version which is 11.0.7 and PHP version 8.2.0. Now we need to start the Vite development server to automatically recompile our CSS and refresh the browser when we make changes to our Blade templates. Copy this command. Click here to open a new terminal. Paste the command which you have copied. You can see that Vite development server has started. Click on Creating Chirps link. Now we need to create models, migrations, and controllers. Models provide a powerful and enjoyable interface for you to interact with the tables in your database. Migrations allow you to easily create and modify the tables in your database. They ensure that the same database structure exists everywhere that your application runs. Controllers are responsible for processing requests made to your application and returning a response. Now, let's create a model, migration, and resource controller for our chirps with the following command. Copy this command. Click here to open a new terminal. Paste the command which you have copied and press enter. You can see that the chirp model, migration, and chirp controller have been created. Go to App, HTTP, Controllers folder and open Chirp Controller. You can see that index, create, store, show, edit, update, and destroy methods are created automatically. Now if you go to Models folder, you can see that Chirp model is created. Now open Database, Migrations folder. Here you will see Chirp's migration file. Now we need to add routes for our application. Because we're using a resource controller, we can use a single root : resource statement to define all of the routes. First we will add index root to display our form and a listing of chirps and store root for saving new chirps. Open web.php file. After the profile root, add resource root for chirps. Type root : resource, followed by the URI prefix chirps enclosed in single quotes within parentheses. Then, add a comma. After that, include chirp controller class. Do not forget to import chirp controller. The chirp controller references the controller class responsible for handling requests related to the chirps resource. Then, add an arrow, followed by only, then parentheses. Inside the parentheses, add an array and specify index and store methods. This indicates that we want to create routes only for these two methods. Now, open chirp controller. Here add return type response and import it. It indicates that the index method should return a response object. Now, let's use the response helper function to return the hello YouTube string. When you navigate to the root, localhost :8000/chirps, it should display hello YouTube. Now, go to your browser and navigate to localhost :8000/chirps and you will see hello YouTube. Now let's add middleware to our root so that only authenticated users can navigate to the root. Open web.php file. Add the middleware function followed by parentheses. Inside the parentheses, add an array. Within this array, include the auth and verified middleware. Both of these middlewares are default middlewares. Open your browser and reload the page and you will be redirected to the login page. When we try to navigate to the chirps root, the auth middleware prevents us since we are not authenticated. As a result, we are redirected back to the login page. Let's see where these middlewares are defined. Open app.php file which is inside the Bootstrap folder. Select the middleware class and right-click on it. Then, click on Go to Definition. Middleware class file will be opened. Now press Ctrl+F and type auth.basic. Here you will see middleware aliases in the default aliases function. You can see auth, auth.basic, auth.session, cache.headers, can, guest, password.confirm, precognitive, signed, throttle and verified middleware aliases are added in this function. Click here, on the Authenticate middleware. Right-click and click on Go to Definition. Here you will see Authenticate class, which is inside Vendor, Laravel, Framework, SRC, Illuminate, Auth, Middleware directory. Scroll down and you will see Constructor, Authenticate, Unauthenticated and Redirect to functions. Now click on Ensure Email is Verified middleware. Right-click and click on Go to Definition. You will see Ensure Email is Verified class. The redirect to method specifies the redirect route for the middleware and the handle method is responsible for processing incoming HTTP requests. Now, let's update index method to render the blade view. Open chirp controller. First, replace the return type of response with view and import it. Now, replace resource with view. In parentheses, remove hello YouTube string and add chirps.index, which means that it will render index view from chirps folder. Now, let's create a chirps folder inside the resources/views directory. Inside the chirps folder, create an index.blade.php view file. Right-click and select New Folder. Create a folder named chirps. In this folder, create a blade view named index.blade.php. Copy this code. Paste the code here. Go to Layouts folder and open app.blade.php file. We use this app layout for authenticated users. Here we have included navigation file. Then, we display the header. After that we display the content using the $slot directive. Now, go to your browser and try to navigate to the chirps root. You will be redirected to the login page, as we are not authenticated. Now navigate to register root. Enter your name, email, password and confirm password and click on register. You are redirected to the dashboard page. Now try to navigate to the chirps root and you will see the chirps form. Let's change the styles of this button component. Open primary button blade component which is inside components folder. Add the following Tailwind CSS styles in this component. You can pause the video to copy these styles. Now, go back to the chirps page and you will see that the Tailwind CSS styles have been applied to the button. Now we need to add navigation link for both desktop and mobile screens in the navigation.blade.php file. Open navigation.blade.php file. Duplicate this nav link. Replace dashboard with chirps.index root. Here also replace dashboard with chirps.index root. Here replace dashboard with chirps. Scroll down for the mobile navigation links. Duplicate this responsive nav link. Replace dashboard with chirps.index root. Here also replace dashboard with chirps.index root. Here replace dashboard with chirps. Now, go back to the dashboard page and you will see the chirps link in the navigation menu. Let's change the border color of active link. Open navlink.blade.php file. Replace border indigo 600 with border cyan 600. Now, go to the chirps page and you can see that the active link color has been changed. Click on the dashboard link or chirps link, and you will see the active link with a cyan border color. Now we need to update the store method on our chirp controller class to validate the data and create a new chirp. But before that, let's create chirps method on our user model to define a as many relationship. Open user model. Create a chirps method that has a return type of hasmany. Make sure to import hasmany class. In this method, return has many function with chirp class in parentheses. Now open chirp controller. In store method, add return type as redirect response and import this class. First, declare a variable called $validated, which will contain the validated data if validation passes. Then, we will call the validate method on the $request object to perform validation. After that, we apply validation rules in the array for the message field. The message field is required, it should be a string, and the maximum number of characters allowed is 255. The $validated variable will throw a validation exception if the validation fails. Now, we will use the $request object to call the user method to retrieve the authenticated user. Then, we use the chirps method which we have created in the user model. Finally, we use the create method to create a new instance of the chirp model and associate it with the authenticated user. This method takes the $validated variable as an argument. Then we use the redirect helper function with the root method to redirect the user to the chirps.index root. Now we need to add the $fillable property to our chirp model to enable mass assignment for the message attribute. Open chirp model. Add the $fillable property here. Add message attribute in the array. Passing all of the data from a request to your model can be risky. Imagine you have a page where users can edit their profiles. If you were to pass the entire request to the model, then a user could edit any column they like, such as an is_admin column. This is called a mass assignment vulnerability. Now we need to update the migration. We need to add user_ID foreign key to the chirps migration to store the relationship between a chirp and its user and the message itself. Open chirps migration file. Add user_ID foreign key after the ID column. First add $table, which is an instance of the blueprint class. After that add foreign ID function, pass user_ID in parentheses. Then add constrained method to set up a foreign key constraint on the user_ID column. Then add cascade on delete method, which means that if a user is deleted from the users table, all associated rows in the chirps table will also be deleted automatically. Now, add a message field of type string to store the chirps in the message table. Here, the ID of the users table serves as a foreign key in the chirps table. Now we need to migrate the database. In your terminal, type the command php artisan migrate to migrate the database. Go to phpMyAdmin. click on the database. Here you can see the chirps table. Reload the page. Now add a chirp and click on the button to create the chirp. You will be redirected back to the chirps page. Open phpMyAdmin. Reload the page and you will see the chirp with user ID and created at and updated at time. You can also use PHP Artisan Tinker to see the inserted data. In your terminal, type the command php Artisan Tinker and press enter. Copy this code. Paste the code here and you will see the inserted data in the terminal. Press Ctrl+C to exit. Now we will show the chirps. Click on the Showing Chirps link. We need to update the index method on our chirp controller class to pass chirps from every user to our index page. But before that, we need to connect the users to chirps by adding a new belongs to relationship to the chirp model. Open chirp model. Create a user method that has a return type of belongs to. Make sure to import belongs to class. In this method, return belongs to function with user class in parentheses. Now open chirp controller. Here add a comma, then add an array. In this array, add a key called chirps, which will be used in the view to access the chirp data. Then add an arrow operator and use eloquence with method to eager load every chirps associated user. This is achieved through the user method. Make sure to import the user model. Then use the latest scope to return the records in reverse chronological order. Finally, use the get method to retrieve all records that match the specified query conditions from the database. Now, we need to update chirps.indexBlade view to display the chirps below the form. Copy this highlighted code. Open index.blade.php file. Paste the code after ending form tag. Go to the chirps page and you will see the chirp message with user's name and timestamp. Here we use the for each blade directive to iterate over a collection of chirp data. First we display the name of the user associated with the chirp. Then we display the time the chirp was created. Let's change the format of the time. Replace the current format with diff for humans, a method provided by the Carbon library in Laravel. You can see that now it is showing 12 minutes ago instead of date with time. Now let's replace at for each directive with at for else. At forElse includes an @empty section that can handle the case of an empty array or collection, while at forEach does not. Here add @empty section. Now add @endforElse. Between the @empty directive and @forElse, add the text "no chirps found," which will be displayed when there are no chirps in the database. Let's change the background of the chirps section. Add BG Gray 800 for dark mode. Here, add Divide Cyan 400 for dark mode. In this span class, add Text Gray 100 for dark mode. In the following classes also, add Text Gray 100 for dark mode. Go to the chirps page and you will see that the background color of the chirp section and text color have changed. Let's create a new chirp. You can see a border with cyan color has been added. Now, let's implement functionality for editing the chirps. Click on Editing Chirps link. First we will update our routes file to enable the chirps.edit and chirps.update routes for our resource controller. The chirps.edit route will display the form for editing a chirp, while the chirps.update route will accept the data from the form and update the model. Next, we need to link our new chirps.edit route. We'll use the X dropdown component that comes with Breeze, which will only display to the chirp author. We'll also display an indication if a chirp has been edited by comparing the chirps created at date with its updated at date. Then we will create an edit form for editing a chirp. After that we will update the edit and update methods in the chirp controller. First let's add the edit and update routes in the resource route. Open web.php file. After store, add edit and update route. Copy this highlighted code after small HTML element. Open index blade view file. Paste the code here. Now we need to create edit.blade.php file. In chirps folder, create a file called edit.blade.php. Copy this code and paste it into edit.blade.php file. Here we use the patch method for updating the chirp and at CSRF directive to generate a hidden CSRF token input field. Then we use the root helper function to generate the URL for the chirps.update root in the action attribute. Let's see the root list. Type the command php artisan root :list to list all registered roots. Here you can see all the registered roots. You can see chirps.update root with the put or patch method. Here we use old helper function to retrieve old form input. The $chirp message provides the default value for the text area, likely retrieved from the database. After that we display the validation error messages. Open index.blade.php file. Here we use the unless blade directive. It's similar to the if statement, but it checks if the condition is false rather than true. In this case, it checks whether the created at timestamp of the chirp is not equal to the updated _at timestamp. If the condition is false, meaning the chirp has not been edited, the code inside the unless directive will be executed. Then we use the if blade directive to check if the user who created the chirp is the same as the currently authenticated user. If this condition is true, the code inside the if directive will be executed and the X dropdown component with a link for editing the chirp will be shown. Now we need to display an edit view with the chirp when we click on the edit link. Open chirp controller. In the edit method, root model binding automatically injects the chirp model instance based on the chirp root parameter. Let's use the dd function to see the contents of the $chirp variable. When you execute this code, it will output the contents of the $chirp variable and halt the script execution. Open chirps page. There is an issue with the Tailwind CSS styles, we will fix it later. After chirps, add chirp ID 1/edit. Click on Attributes Array and you will see all the data of the chirp with ID 1. You can verify it by checking the data in the chirps table. Let's fix this Tailwind CSS styles. Open index.blade.php file. Remove this ending div tag. Remove this ending div tag also. Now, go back to the chirps page and you will see that the issue has been resolved. Click here and you will see a drop-down with edit link. Click on this link and you will see the contents of the chirp. Now we need to display the edit form when we click on the edit link. Open chirp controller. Comment out this dd function. To render the edit view, use the return view method. In parentheses, add chirps.edit in single quotes, which indicates to show edit view from chirps folder. Then add an array after a comma. In this array assign chirp variable to the $chirp data. Go to the chirps page and reload the page. Now, click on three dots and then click on the edit link. You will see the edit form with the chirp message. Let's log out and create a new account. Click on the register link. Now register a user with new user data. Enter name, email, password, confirm password and click on register. Click on chirps link. You can see 3 dots for edit link is not displaying as these chirps are created by another user. Let's create a new chirp. You can see that now 3 dots for the edit link is visible as this chirp is created by the logged in user, Jane Doe. Click on the edit link and you will see the edit form. Now, let's try to see the edit form of the chirp which was created by another user, John Doe. You can see that the chirps with ID 1 and 2 are created by user ID 1, John Doe. In the URL replace chirp ID 3 with 1 and press enter. You can see that we are able to see the edit form of the chirp which was created by another user, John Doe. Replace 1 with 2 and you will see edit form with chirp ID 2, which was also created by John Doe. To prevent unauthorized access we will use authorize method. Add authorized method using the $this keyword. In parentheses, add the first parameter update, which is a method representing the action or ability being authorized. Then, add the second parameter $chirp, which represents the resource or model instance that is being checked for authorization. Now, go to the chirps page and reload the page. Try to access the edit form of chirp with ID 1, which was created by another user John Doe. You will see an error, call to undefined method authorized. In Laravel 11, instead of $this we need to use gate facade. In Google type Laravel. Click on this link. Search for authorization. Click on first link. Now search for authorize. You can see if the user is not allowed to perform the given action, you may use the gate facade's authorize method. Replace $this with gate facade and import gate facade. Now go to the edit page and reload the page. You will see 403, this action is unauthorized error. Go back to the chirps page. Click on 3 dots and click on edit link. You can see that even though the chirp is created by the logged in user, here it is still showing a 403 error, indicating an unauthorized action. Because by default, the authorize method will prevent everyone from being able to update the chirp. We can specify who is allowed to update it by creating a model policy. Before creating the policy, let's implement functionality for updating the chirp. Here add return type, redirect response. Add authorized method using the gate facade and import gate facade. In parentheses, add first parameter update, which is a method. Then add second parameter $chirp, which represents the resource or model instance that is being checked for authorization. Now, we will validate the data. First, declare a variable called $validated, which will contain the validated data if validation passes. Then, we will call the validate method on the $request object to perform validation. After that, we apply validation rules in the array for the message field. The message field is required, it should be a string, and the maximum number of characters allowed is 255. The $validated variable will throw a validation exception if the validation fails. Next, we use the $chirp model instance with the update method, passing the $validated parameter. This action updates the attributes of the chirp model instance with the values provided in the $validated array, and then it persists these changes to the database. Then we use the redirect helper function with the root method to redirect the user to the chirps.index root. Now, let's create the chirp policy. In your terminal, type the command php artisan make :policy chirp policy -- model equals chirp. This command will create a chirp policy class inside policies folder. Open chirp policy. You will see different methods. The update method expects two parameters, $user, which represents the authenticated user trying to perform the action, and $chirp, which represents the chirp instance being updated. Here we check if the user who owns the chirp matches the provided user, and returns true if they match, indicating authorization, otherwise, it returns false. Now go to the edit page and reload the page. You can see the edit form with the chirp data. Let's update the chirp. You can see the chirp is updated. Let's try to access the edit form of a chirp belonging to another user, John Doe. You will see a 403, this action is unauthorized error, which means authorization is working. Open chirp controller. Here, you will notice that the validation rules are the same in both the update and store methods. To avoid duplication and ensure consistency, we will create a form request for these validation rules. In your terminal, type the command php artisan make :request store chirp request and press enter. This command will create store chirp request class in the app http requests folder. Open store chirp request class. Open chirp controller. Copy this validation rules. Paste the copied rules here. In the store method, replace request with store chirp request and import store chirp request class. Comment out this code. Now, store the validated data from the request in the $validated variable using the $request object. Replace request with store chirp request in the update method also. Comment out this code. Now, store the validated data from the request in the $validated variable using the $request object. Open store chirp request class. Add a new rule, min:3, indicating a minimum of 3 characters required. Go back to the chirps page. Reload the page. Add a single character and click on Save. The 403 error is occurring because in the store chirp request class, the authorize method always returns false, indicating that the request is not authorized to proceed. To resolve this, we need to change it from false to true to allow the request to proceed. In store chirp request, replace false with true in the authorize method. Go back to the chirps page and reload the page. You will see the validation error message. If you add 2 characters, then also you will see the validation error message because minimum characters required are 3. Add a chirp with 3 or more characters and click on Chirp. There is an error, too few arguments. The error is on line 43. Because we have misspelled the validated method. Go back to the chirp controller. Replace validate with validated in both store and update methods. Now go to the chirps page and reload the page. You can see that now the chirp has been created. Click on 3 dots and click on Edit Link to update the chirp. Add some characters and click on Save to update the chirp. You can see that the chirp has been updated and we are redirected to the chirps page. You can also see the edited text as we have updated the chirp. Let's change the text color of edited text for dark mode. Open edit.blade.php file. Search for edit. Here add text gray 100 for dark mode. Now go back to the chirps page and you will see that the text color of the edited text is changed for the dark mode. Let's add pagination. Open chirp controller. In the index method, replace get with paginate method. In parentheses, pass the number of records you want to paginate per page. Open index.blade.php file. After the ending div tag, add $chirps links inside double curly braces, which will call the links method on the chirps variable. Go to the chirps page and reload the page. You will not see the page links as we have just 4 chirps in the database. Open chirp controller. Change the number of record from 5 to 3. Go back to the chirps page and reload the page. Now you will see the pagination links. Let's add some margin. Open index.blade.php file. Here add MB4 for margin bottom. Go back to the chirps page and you will see margin bottom is applied. Click on this icon to go to the next page. Click here to go back to the first page. Let's implement functionality for deleting the chirp. Click on this link. First we need to update our roots to enable the chirps.destroy root. After that we will update the destroy method on our chirp controller class to perform the deletion and return to the chirp index. Open web.php file. Add destroy root after update. Open chirp controller. Add authorized method using the gate facade and import gate facade. In parentheses add first parameter delete, which is a method. Then add second parameter $chirp, which represents the resource or model instance that is being checked for authorization. Then we use the delete method on $chirp to delete the chirp. After that we use the redirect helper function with the root method to redirect the user to the chirps.index root. Open chirp policy class. Rather than repeating the logic from the update method, we can define the same logic by calling the update method from our destroy method. Anyone that is authorized to update a chirp will now be authorized to delete it as well. Now we need to update our index view. But before that, let's see the root list. In your terminal, type the command php artisan root :list. Here you can see the chirps.destroy root with delete method. Copy this highlighted code. Open index.blade.php file. Paste the code after ending X dropdown link. Go to the chirps page and reload the page. Click on three dots to open the drop-down menu and you will see the delete link. Click on delete link and you will see that the chirp has been deleted. Let's display success message using session when we create, update, or delete a chirp. Open chirp controller. In the store method, after the redirect function add a with method which is used to attach data to the session. In the parentheses, pass a key success and the value chirp created. This means that after the redirect, the message chirp created will be available in the session under the key success. In the update method, after the redirect function add a with method. In the parentheses, pass a key success and the value chirp updated. After the redirect, the message chirp updated will be available in the session under the key success. In the destroy method, after the redirect function add a with method. In the parentheses, pass a key success and the value chirp deleted. After the redirect, the message chirp deleted will be available in the session under the key success. Open index.blade.php file. We will display the success message before the form tag. Here we use @session directive to determine if a session value exists. If the session value exists, the template contents within the @session and @endSession directives will be evaluated. Within the @session directives contents, you may echo the $value variable to display the session value. You may pause the video to copy this code. Let's go to the chirps page and see if the success message displays or not. Reload the page. Add a chirp and click on the chirp button. You can see the success message, chirp created. Click on this icon to close it. Click on 3 dots and click on the delete button and you will see chirp deleted message. Click on 3 dots and then click on the edit link. Update the chirp and click on save. You will be redirected to the chirps page and chirp updated message will be displayed. Now we will implement the notification feature in our application, so that when a chirp is created, an email notification will be sent to all the users except the author of the chirp. Click on this link. First we will create a notification. Here is the male representation of the notification. Then we will create an event. After that we will dispatch this event in the user model. Then we will create an event listener. Here we listen for the chirp created event. As we are using Laravel 11, we don't need to register the event listener. By default, Laravel will automatically find and register your event listeners by scanning your application's listeners directory. We will use Mailtrap for testing email functionality without actually sending emails to real users. Register using your email and password and you will get the credentials. Click on Show Credentials and you will see your credentials. We will use SMTP credentials. Go back to VS Code and open .env file. Here add your Mailtrap credentials as following. In MailMailer, add SMTP. In MailHost, add sandbox.smtp.mailtrap.io. In MailPort, add 2525. Then add mail username and mail password. Go back to the Laravel Bootcamp website. First we will create a notification called new chirp. In your terminal, type the command php artisan make, notification, new chirp and press enter. This command will create new chirp class in app/notifications folder. Open new chirp notification class. Here, the constructor method of the new chirp class accepts a chirp object as its parameter. Next, the toMail method constructs the email content for the notification. It sets up the email with an introduction, action buttons, subject, greeting, chirp message, and a thank you message, tailored to inform users about the new chirp in our application. Open new chirp notification class. The constructor method accepts a chirp object as a parameter. The public keyword before the parameter automatically declares a property $chirp and assigns the passed value to it. Copy this code. Paste the code here. Remove the semicolon. Add a semicolon here. Copy this import code. Paste the code here. The toMail method generates the email content using the mail message class. It includes an introduction, action buttons, subject, greeting, truncated chirp message, and a thank you message for the new chirp notification. Now we will create an event called chirp created. In your terminal, type the command php artisan make, event, chirp created and press enter. This command will create a chirp created class inside apps/events folder. Here the constructor method of this event class accepts a chirp object as a parameter, which is automatically assigned to a public property $chirp. Open chirp created event class. In the constructor method, pass chirp as a parameter, which is automatically assigned to a public property $chirp. Make sure to import chirp class. Now we will dispatch the event when a chirp is created. As our event relates to the creation of an eloquent model, we will configure our chirp model to dispatch the event for us. Copy this code. Open chirp model. Paste the code here. Import chirp created class. Now we will create an event listener called send chirp created notifications. Copy this code. Paste the code in your terminal. A send chirp created notifications listener will be created inside app/listeners folder. Copy this code and paste it in the handle method. Import new chirp notification class. Now import user model class. Here, the handle method accepts an event object of type chirp created. When an event of type chirp created is dispatched, this method will be triggered to handle it. The void return type indicates that this method does not return anything. This line queries the user model to retrieve all users except the one who created the chirp identified by $event operator, chirp, operator, user_ID. The cursor method is used for efficient processing of large datasets. Inside the loop, each user, except the chirp creator, is notified about the newly created chirp. It uses Laravel's notification system. The notify method is called on each user object, and it accepts an instance of a notification class, in this case new chirp, which is passed to the chirp object associated with the event. Go to the chirps page. Add a chirp and click on the chirp button. You can see it is taking time, because it is sending an email notification. The success message is displayed, which means the chirp has been created and an email notification is sent to all users. Check your Mailtrap inbox and you will see the chirp notification. The notification will display new chirp from with name of the user, introduction, and a button to go to the Chirper app. You may have noticed that when we created the chirp, it took some time to display the success message, as it also sends an email notification to the user. However, for a better user experience, we don't want our users to wait. We will utilize Laravel's queue functionality, which will send the email notification in the background. Thus, the user does not have to wait. We will use shouldQueue interface in the sendChirp created notifications listener class, which tells Laravel that the listener should be run in a queue. Copy implements shouldQueue. Open sendChirp created notifications class. Paste the copied code here. Go to the chirps page and reload the page. Add a chirp and click on the chirp button. You can see the chirp is created and we got the success message instantly. Let's check Mailtrap inbox. You can see that we haven't received the mail notification. Go to the Laravel Bootcamp website. Right-click and open this link in New tab. Search for q:work. Click on this link. We will use this command to start a queue worker. Copy this command. Go to phpMyAdmin. Click on the Jobs table. The Jobs table in Laravel's queue system stores information about queued jobs waiting to be processed. It includes columns like ID, queue, payload, attempts, reserved_at, available_at, and timestamps for created_at and updated_at. Paste the command which you have copied. You can see sendChirp created notifications listener is showing running. Now the status has changed to done. Let's check Mailtrap inbox. You can see that we have received the pending mail notification. Because, previously when we created a chirp, we didn't implement the shouldQueue interface. As a result, the job was pending. After running the command php artisan q:work, the job has been processed. Now go to phpMyAdmin and reload the page and you will see that the jobs table will be cleared, as the job has been processed. Let's create a new chirp. Add a chirp and click on the chirp button. Go to phpMyAdmin and reload the page. You can see a new job detail is showing in the jobs table, as currently the job is pending. Go to Mailtrap and you will see that we have received a new mail notification. Go back to the chirps page and you will see success message, chirp created. Go to phpMyAdmin and reload the page and you will see that now the jobs table is cleared. Go to Visual Studio Code and you will see the status of the job has changed from running to done. Now, let's create admin panel for our app to manage the users. Click on the Users table. In the Users table we will add a field, is_admin after the password field. Open a new terminal. In your terminal, type the command php artisan make :migration in double quotes, add is admin to users table and press enter. This command will create a new migration file called add_is_admin_ to _users_table. Open this migration file. First, we reference $table, which is an instance of the blueprint class. Next, we use the Boolean method to specify the data type as Boolean. Then, we set the default value to false. Finally, we position the new column after the password column using the after method with password in parentheses. Now migrate the database using the php artisan migrate command. The migration was successful. Open php-myadmin and reload the page and you will see a new field, is_admin is added after the password field. The default value of this field is 0. Click on the users table and you will see that is_admin field is added to both the users and its default value is 0. Now, let's create an admin using Laravel Tinker. In your terminal, type the command php artisan tinker to open Tinker. First, we create a new instance of the user model and store it in the $user variable. Then, we set the value of the name attribute of the $user variable. After that, we set the value of the email attribute of the $user variable. Then, we set the value of the password attribute of the $user variable. Next, we set the value of the is_admin attribute of the $user variable to true. Finally, we save the user using the save method. The admin user has been created. Now use $user_all method to see all the users. You can see the admin details which we have just created. Press Ctrl+C to exit. Go to php-myadmin and reload the page. You will see a new user has been added to the users table with the is_admin value of 1. Now we need to add routes for admin. Go back to Visual Studio Code and open web.php file. Before adding route, we need to create admin controller. In your terminal, type the command php artisan make : controller, admin controller and press enter. This command will create an admin controller in app/http/controllers folder. Open admin controller. Add index method. Here we create a query to fetch all the users from the users table, where is_admin field is 0, indicating they are not admins. We store the result in the $users variable. Then we use dd function to dump and die, which will display the contents of the $users variable. Open web.php file. Add a route to display the users, utilizing the index method of the admin controller. Also assign the name adminusers.show to this route. Do not forget to import admin controller. Then add auth middleware to this route. Go to your browser. You will see invalid route action error. Go back to web.php file. Add square brackets to indicate an array. Go back to your browser and the error is gone. Now click on Logout. Click on Login and login using admin credentials to log in as an admin. Navigate to users route and you will see contents of users. Click on array and you will see there are 2 user instances. Here is the details of first user. Here is the details of second user. Here we need to display logged in as an admin, instead of you are logged in, and add a navigation link to go to the user's route. Open dashboard.blade.php file. Here, I have added if directive to check if the currently authenticated user is an admin. If they are, it displays a message you are logged in as an admin. Otherwise, it displays a default message you're logged in. Go to the chirps page and you will see the message, you are logged in as an admin. Now, let's add navigation links for the user's route in the navigation menu. Open navigation.blade.php file. Duplicate this chirps nav link. Replace chirps with users. Replace chirps.index root with admin.show.users root. Here also replace chirps.index with admin.show.users. We want to show this link only to the admin, we don't want to display this link to other users. We will use @if directive to check the currently authenticated user is an admin. If the currently authenticated user is an admin, we will show the user's link. Now we need to add user's link in the responsive navbar with the same @if directive. Add the @if directive here. Copy this responsive nav link and paste it in the @if directive. Replace chirps with users. Replace chirps.index root with admin.show.users root. Here also replace chirps.index with admin.show.users. Now go to the dashboard and you will see the user's link in the navigation menu. Click on this link and you will see contents of users. Now we need to display the user details in a blade view. Open Admin Controller. Here, we're returning a view called index from the users folder, and we're passing an array with the $users variable retrieved from the database using Laravel's eloquent ORM. Comment out this line. Here, add return type view and import view. Create a users folder in the views directory. In this users folder, create index.blade.php file. Open dashboard blade view and copy the code. Paste the copied code in index.blade.php file. Remove this code. We will display the user's data in a table. In Google, type Tailwind CSS table and press enter. Click on this second link. Click on copy to copy the code. Paste the copied code here. Change max width from 7XL to 5XL. The width has not changed. Open the terminal in which npm run dev command is running. Press Ctrl+C to stop the server. Restart the server by running npm run dev command. You can see that now the max width has been changed. Open dashboard view. Replace dashboard with users. Remove second and third table rows. You can see now only one table row is showing. Open index.blade.php file. Here we use @forElse loop to loop over the $users collection. The user's name, email, and creation date are displayed within table cells. If the $users collection is empty, it ends the loop without executing the loop's content and display no users found. You can see that 2 users are displayed here in the user's blade view file. Let's log out from admin account and log in using normal user login details. Enter email and password and login as normal user. You can see that the user's link in the navigation menu is not showing. But if you try to navigate to the user's root, you are able to see user's details. To prevent the users from accessing this root, we will create a middleware. Go back to Visual Studio Code. In your terminal, type the command php artisan make middleware is admin middleware and press enter. This command will create a isAdmin middleware class inside app/http/middleware folder. Open isAdmin middleware class. Here in the handle method, we check if the user is not an admin, and if so, we abort the request with an HTTP response code 403, indicating a forbidden access error. Go to Bootstrap folder and open app.php file. Here we will assign an alias to our middleware. Specify an alias named is_admin and associate it with the isAdmin middleware class. Don't forget to import isAdmin middleware class. Copy this alias name. Open web.php file. Add this middleware alias to the user's root inside an array. Go to your browser, and you'll see a 403 forbidden error because we've added the is_admin middleware to this root. Click on Log Out. Click on Login and log in using admin credentials. Click on Users link and you will see that we can see the users list because we are logged in as an admin. The field name we added in the users table was is_admin, and the middleware alias name is also is_admin. So, let's change the middleware alias name to avoid confusion. Replace is_admin with isadmin, where A is capitalized. Copy this alias name. Open app.php file. Paste the copied alias and replace is_admin with it. Go back to users root and reload the page and you can see the users list. Click on Logout. Click on Login and log in as a normal user. Try to navigate to the user's root, and you will see a 403 forbidden error. Log out and click on the login link. Now, log in as an admin with admin credentials. Click on the users link and you will see the users list, which indicates that the middleware is working properly. Now, let's implement the functionality to ban the users. In order to implement user banning functionality, we'll need to add a new field called banned_at to our users table. This field will have a data type of timestamp, allowing us to track when a user was banned. Open phpMyAdmin. Click on the users table. We will add banned_at field after the updated _at field. Let's create a migration. In your terminal, type the command php artisan make :migration in double quotes, add banned_at to users table and press enter. This command will create a new migration file called @_banned_at_ to _users_table. Open this migration file. First, we reference $table, which is an instance of the blueprint class. Next, we're using the timestamp method to specify that the banned_at field will be of type timestamp, enabling us to store date and time information. Then we use the nullable method, which indicates that this field can be left empty if the user is not banned. This ensures flexibility in our data model. Now migrate the database using the php artisan migrate command. The migration was successful. Open phpMyAdmin and reload the page and you will see a new field, banned_at is added after the updated _at field. Let's create a middleware. In your terminal, type the command php artisan make :middleware, checkband and press enter. This command will create a checkband class inside app/http/middleware folder. Open checkband class. Here in the handle method, first we check if the user is authenticated. If the user is authenticated, then we check if the authenticated user's band_at field is not null. If it's not null, the middleware logs the user out. Then it invalidates the session. Next, it regenerates the session ID. Finally, it redirects them to the login page with an error message indicating their account has been blocked. Otherwise, if the band_at field is null, the middleware allows the request to proceed as usual. Open app.php file. Here we will assign an alias to our middleware. Specify an alias named is_band and associate it with the checkband class. Don't forget to import checkband class. Copy this alias name. Open web.php file. Add the is_band middleware alias to the dashboard root. Now open login.blade.php file. Here before the form tag, we will display the error message to the band users. Here we check if there is an error stored in the session using @session error. If there is, it renders the error message. Open phpMyAdmin. Let's manually change the band_at field of the user, John Doe, from null to a timestamp. Now log out and try to log in using the credentials of the user John Doe. Enter the email and password, whose band_at field has been changed from null to a timestamp. You can see the error message, "Your account has been blocked, please contact admin." Reload the page and try to log in using the other user, whose account is not blocked. You can see that now we are able to log in and can see the dashboard, as this user's account is not blocked. Click on Log Out and try to log in with admin credentials. You can see that we are able to log in as an admin also. Here we will display the status of the user, banned or active, and the time when the user was banned or blocked. We need to add routes for blocking and unblocking users. Open web.php file. Before adding routes, we need to create methods in the admin controller for blocking and unblocking users. Open admin controller. Define a method named block and accept a user instance as a parameter. Inside the method, we're updating the banned_at field of the provided user. We're setting it to the current time plus 1 month, effectively blocking the user for that duration. Then, we redirect back to the previous page with a success message indicating that the user has been blocked. Now, define a method named unblock and accept a user instance as a parameter. Inside the method, we're updating the banned_at field of the provided user, setting it to null. This action effectively removes the ban from the user. After updating the user's banned_at field, we redirect back to the previous page with a success message indicating that the user has been unblocked. Now, let's add the routes. Open web.php file. Here we use the route put method to handle a put request to /users/user placeholder/block. This route is associated with the block method in our admin controller class, which we've specified as the controller action. Now assign the name admin.users.block to this route. Now, add the auth and is admin middlewares to this route so that only authenticated users who are admins can access it. Copy this route and paste here. Replace block with unblock, as this route will be used to unblock the users. Open user model. In the casts method, we specify that the banned_at attribute should be cast to a datetime format. Also add banned_at in the fillable property. Define isBanned method to check whether the user is currently banned. First, verify if the banned_at attribute is not null, indicating that the user has been banned at some point. Then compare the current time, now, with the banned_at timestamp to determine if the ban is still in effect. If both conditions are true, the method returns true, indicating that the user is currently banned, otherwise, it returns false. Now, open index.blade.php file. Copy and paste this table header 3 times. Here add the text status. We will use this header to display the user status, indicating whether they are active or banned. Here add the text block/unblock. We will use this header to display the buttons to block or unblock the users. Finally, add the text block till. We will use this header to display until when the user is blocked. Duplicate this TD element. Here in the class we check if the isBanned method for the current user returns true, meaning the user is banned. We apply the text red 500 class to display the text in red. Otherwise, if the user is not banned, we apply the text green 500 class to display the text in green. Here we will display banned if the user is banned, and active if they're not. Copy this TD element again. Paste it here. Delete this code. First, we use the add if directive to check if the user is currently banned. Add an else block to handle the case where the user is not banned. Finally, close the conditional block with an end if. In the add if block, if the isBanned method for the current user returns true, indicating that the user is banned, we display a button to unblock the user. This form is submitted to the users.unblock route using the put method. Add at scrf blade directive. Add the at method directive with the put request in it. Add a button with the type submit and the text unblock inside it. This button will be used to unblock the users. Copy this form code. Paste it in the else block. Replace unblock with block. If the user is not banned, we display a button to block the user. This form is submitted to the users.block route using the put method. Copy this TD element with class. Paste it here and add a close the TD tag. Here, we're displaying the user's ban timestamp, if it exists. We first check if the $user banned _ at attribute is not null. If it's not null, indicating that the user has been banned, we use the format method to format the timestamp to display the date and time in a human-readable format. Then add an else block. We display NA to indicate that the user is not currently banned. Finally, we close the conditional block with @end if. Here we will display a success message. Open Chirp's index view. Copy this code to display success message. Open user's index view and paste the code here. Now, go to your browser and you will see an error. app_models_user is banned must return a relationship. We forgot to add the parentheses to the isBan method. Add parentheses to isBan method. Go to your browser. There is another error, root admin users.block not defined. Pass $user as an instance of the user model. Remove admin from both the roots. Open web.php file. Here also remove admin from both the root names. Go to your browser and you will see there is another error, root users.block not defined. Open web.php file. Here add /block. Here add /unblock. Now, you can see the error has been resolved. Open index.blade.php file. Cut this code. Paste the code here. Now, click on the Unblock button to unblock the user. You can see the success message. But, the status has not changed. Open index.blade.php file. Remove these double curly braces. Add a single quote and double curly braces. Now, open your browser and you will see that the text color of the status has changed. Now click on the block button to block this user John Doe. You can see that the user has been blocked, and the status has changed from active to banned, with the color changing to red. Open phpMyAdmin and reload the page. Check John Doe's band underscore at field and you will see a timestamp, which means the user is blocked. Log out from the admin account. Now, try to log in using John Doe's credentials. Enter email and password and click on Login button. You can see the error message, "Your account has been blocked, please contact admin," which indicates the block-unblock feature is working properly. Now, let's log in using another user, Jane Doe's credentials. Now click on Login. You can see that we are logged in and can access the dashboard and all pages. Click on the Logout button. Now let's implement the email verification functionality. When a user registers, an email verification link will be sent to their email address. The user needs to click on the Verify email link, and once done, their account will be verified, granting them access to the dashboard. Open web.php file. Here you can see we have added verified middleware. Open user model. Uncomment this must verify email interface. Let's implement must verify email interface. Go to your browser. Click on the login link. Enter Jane Doe's email and password and click on Login. Jane's account status is currently active. You can see that the email verification message is showing with Resend verification email and Login button. Now go to Mailtrap inbox. We haven't received a verification email. Go back to the Verify email page. Click on the Resend verification email button. You will notice that the page is loading, indicating that the email is being sent. You can see the success message, a new verification link has been sent to the email address. Now go back to the Mailtrap inbox and you will see Verify email address email. Click on the Verify email address button and you will be redirected to the dashboard page. Open phpMyAdmin. Reload the page. You will see that in Jane Doe's email verified at field, there is a timestamp, indicating that the email has been verified. Let's add a timestamp manually in the admin's email verified at field. Reload the page. Click on Logout. Click on the login link. Now log in using admin's credentials. You will see that we are logged in and able to access all the pages as we have manually added a timestamp in the email verified at field. You might have noticed that when the verification email is sent to the user, it does not contain the user's name. We can include the user's name for a more personalized touch. Open Mailtrap inbox. Here you can see that the email does not contain the name of the user. Go to the user's page. Unblock the user. You can see the user has been unblocked. Go back to Visual Studio Code. Open App Service Provider class. Add the following code in the boot method. Import Verify Email Notification class. Import mail message class. Now import lang facade. Here we are using the toMail method with verify email notification. In this method, we define a closure that accepts two parameters, $notifiable, which represents the user being notified, and $URL, which is the verification URL. Within the closure, we construct a mail message instance, setting the subject to verify email address, and adding a greeting using the user's name obtained from $notifiable name. We're then adding a line instructing the user to click the button to verify their email address and providing an action button, verify email address. Log out from admin account. Click on Login link. Enter user email and password and click on the Login button. Click on Resend Verification Email button. You can see the page is loading, which means that the email is being sent. You can see the success message. Now go to Mailtrap inbox. Open this email. You can see that, now the email contains the name of the user. Click on the Verify Email Address button. You will be redirected to the dashboard, which means that now the email has been verified. Click on the Logout button. Now click on the Login link. Click on the Forgot Password link. Enter user email address and click on the Email Password Reset link button. You can see the page is loading, which means that the email is being sent. You can see the success message. Now go to Mailtrap inbox. Open Reset Password Notification email. You can see that the reset password email also does not include the name of the user. To implement this customization, we need to create a new notification class called Reset Password Notification. In your terminal, type the command php artisan make :notification reset password notification and press enter. This command will create a reset password notification class inside the app/notifications folder. Open Reset Password Notification class. Remove this code and add the following code inside the toMail method. Now import lang facade. Here we use the toMail method, which returns a mail message instance. The $notifiable parameter represents the user who will receive the email notification. First we set the subject of the email to reset password notification. Then we add a greeting using the user's name obtained from $notifiable name. After that, we include a line informing the user about the reason for receiving the email, which is due to a password reset request. Then we add an action button labeled Reset Password with the password reset URL obtained from $this reset URL $notifiable. Next, we include a line indicating the expiration time for the password reset link. Finally, we provide a line informing the user that no further action is required if they didn't request a password reset. Here in the constructor method, we declare a public read-only string property of the class called $token. By marking it as read-only, we ensure that its value cannot be changed after initialization. Here we define a reset URL method to generate the URL for the password reset link. The method expects a parameter named $notifiable of type mixed and it will return a string. In this method, we use the URL helper function to generate the base URL for our application. Within the root function, we specify the name of the root for the password reset endpoint, which is typically password.reset. We're also passing an array of parameters to be included in the URL. The parameters include the token property from the class instance, passed through the constructor, and the email address retrieved from the notifiable object via the getEmailForPasswordReset method, both assigned to the corresponding parameters in the URL. Open User Model. Here, we define a sendPasswordReset notification function with a return type of void. The method expects a parameter named $token. Inside this function, we use the notify method on the current object $this, passing it a new instance of the reset password notification class, with the $token parameter passed to the constructor. Import reset password notification class. Now, go back to our app. Reload the page. Click on the Forgot Password link. Enter email address and click on the Email Password Reset link button. You can see the page is loading, which means that the email is being sent. You can see the success message. Now, go to Mailtrap inbox. Click on the mail. You can see that now the reset password email also includes the name of the user. Click on Reset Password button. Enter new password, confirm password and click on the Reset Password button. You can see success message. Now log in using new password. We are able to log in using the new password and redirected to the dashboard page. Click on the Chirps link. We can see the Chirps page. Click on the profile link and we can see the profile page. Click on Logout. Our app is working properly. In conclusion, we've learned how to build a Twitter-like app called Chirper using Laravel 11. We've covered the basics of creating, reading, updating, and deleting chirps while ensuring users are logged in securely. We've also explored how to send email notifications for important events using events and listeners. Additionally, we've added extra security measures with middleware and set up a basic admin panel for managing users. Lastly, we've implemented features to block and unblock users as needed. If you have any questions or need further clarification, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. Please like and share this video and subscribe to my channel. I will see you in next tutorial. Till then, stay safe.